Hello, this is In Demand Consulting coming to you with Holidays the Entrepreneurial Way. We're here to give you a few tips and tricks to help you kind of finalize your 2019 year and ride into 2020 very smooth.
We all know as entrepreneurs, as we start getting busy, it's pretty easy to lose track of the small stuff. At the end of the year, it can become extremely critical. What's most important is a lot of conversations with your CPA or your bookkeeper. But did we meet our financial goals? Our P&Ls, have we taken a look at those? Those are the kind of questions and concerns you should be having, especially right now in preparation for ending 2019 as efficient as possible. Moving into 2020, there are things that should have already occurred probably in the last quarter of 2019. Setting up meetings with all of your existing clients and customers. And you want to start to build out what their 2020 looks like with your firm or your company already being superimposed in the overall process.
Really, as a consultant, that is one of the major things that you should be emphasizing is these are things that I can take off your plate to make your 2020 year a lot smoother.
Your profit and loss, a very important metric for you to understand how your business health is actually month over month. Getting prepared for 2020, you do want to take a look at probably your last 2 years of income, of expenses, etc. And have a sit down with your bookkeeper, with your accountant, and really begin to understand how can you become more efficient in 2020. You look at what your forecast was for 2019 month over month, and then compare that to your actuals. You can pull bank statements and kind of find out how much revenue did you bring in, how many expenses did you have, and there in between lies your gross margin and or net profits. It gives you an opportunity to understand how much revenue you brought in up against how much expenses you had. Then it gives you an opportunity to understand what your net profits were for each month. So there's an opportunity there to really get specific for 2020. And believe you and me, we are definitely eating our own dog food there because we are doing the same things right now.
As an entrepreneur, another thing that you need to be looking at the end of the year is your branding and kind of focus in on like if you need to add holiday snowflakes and all that type of stuff to your brand message and everything is a good way to finish out the year. But you also need to keep in mind what are your goals and what are your targets for the new year, right? Let's look at it quarterly and then shape that into your branding. Is there a specific message that you're trying to get out to your target market? Add those things in, but start planning for it right now.
A lot of consumers are really concerned about, do you care about what's happening in the world right now? And so I think as a part of getting people prepared for 2020 is showing how you care about the holidays. Do you practice, Christmas? Are you into Hanukkah? Are you into Kwanzaa? The other types of holidays that they may be. I do think it is important for your consumers to understand exactly who you are and what you stand for.
You have to make it personable.
Let consumers and customers know how you did in the previous year. If you're a publicly held or privately owned kind of company, whether you are on the hook to provide this or not. In the era of transparency as well, it's actually a pretty good practice to share. There are things called end of year reports. Gives you a chance to kind of showcase the things that you did throughout the year. And also, what were some of your wins? What were some of your lessons learned? And you want to be able to give those kind of updates to your consumers.
Feedback is good too. You definitely want to ping your clients and your customers and ask them, hey, what are some of the great things that I did, and then what are some of the things where I can grow and build. Surveys. Excellent opportunity to get some honest feedback on your business and ways that you can improve.
Quite frankly, I think I'm going to probably end up giving a survey on you. I think that's going to be very important as we move into 2020. It's going to be critical.
Do it. Do the survey. I'm a pass with flying colors because I'm just that great.